Dave Dinkle, and this video article is called What is Transactional Funding? Specifically, how to use transactional funding to do real estate transactions with no money, no credit, and no risk. As you learn real estate investing, one thing that dominates your degree of success is finding money to complete deals. Most new investors think you buy a property, go to closing, get a warranty deed, and then you own the property. Well, this is correct, but it's the hard way to do real estate investing. When you buy and close on a property, you need large amounts of money for extended periods, and you run the risk of the market changing, or you're having paid too much and you're unable to sell the property. Doing wholesale deals does not require cash, credit, and there is no risk if they're done properly. Most wholesale deals are referred to as A to B and B to C transactions in terms of double closings. In this equation, the A party is the original seller, say a homeowner or landlord. B is the investor who is wholesaling the property, and the letter C indicates the end buyer who will hold the property for a rehab or a flip. Ideally, if investor B can use the end buyer's money to close the first leg of the transaction, he would need no money for the deal. However, this is often impractical but not illegal, as many uninformed agents and attorneys might tell you. It has to be done correctly, but it is not illegal. What every knowledgeable closing agent should allow is what is known as transactional funding. This is where a lender loans the amount of money for the investor B to purchase the property for a few hours that it takes for the end buyer C to come to closing with his money to purchase the property. The transactional lender wires in the money to the closing agent the day of or the day morning of the closing, with clear instructions not to close on the A to B leg unless all the closing documents are signed by the C buyer. In addition, the end buyer's money must have been wired in and cleared before the A to B leg is completed. If the funds are wired in by both parties, the transaction should be riskless. The two transactions are completed within an hour or so of each other, and the transactional lender's money is wired out the same day. Cashier's checks are not an acceptable form of payment because they can be counterfeited so easily, and they can be stopped by the person who got the cashier's check. The transactional lender in this transaction charges some fees for the use of his money. Typically, the transactional lender doesn't charge interest, but charges what he calls points. 1 point is 1%, so a loan of $100,000 for a few hours, the transactional lender receives $1,000 plus any additional fees he may charge. While $1,000 as a loan fee may seem hefty, it's in fact cheap for the investor who has no money to complete the transaction. If the investor only makes $5,000 on the deal, his return on capital is $5,000 divided by 0 equals an infinite return. In summary, transactional funding that is in place at the closing allows investors with no money to do deals that are considered impossible by uninformed people who are not in the real estate investing industry. Join us at aoria.com for tons of more priceless information that can literally change your life.